Hey, 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 y'all. So, what I want to do today is I want to talk to dead people. Oh, thank you, Spirit. Yes. Okay, so usually I'm talking to other people's family members, but today I want to talk to my own. I don't have much time, but I do want to connect with my cousin, and he was taken by gun violence. And so yeah, something just fell under the bottom. Let's see what that is. Okay, so this card that just fell says, the fight is not over. And so sometimes we lose a loved one and it changes our whole perception of things. It makes us think like, oh, I don't have a reason to live now, or what do I do now, you know? And so the spirits are definitely saying, well, we keep going. Because when they cross over, we lose them physically, but they also join a bigger team, right? And then there's a part that says, don't give up on your dream. Pure visions are seen. You know, so I'm going to take this for myself, but also give it to anybody this may come across, you know. So the thing is, the spirits will stand behind you for... Did y'all hear that? Another card just fell. But where are they falling from? Another card fell. Oh, they must be up there somewhere, but we're gonna take it. Let's see what it says. It says, Spirit wants me to let you know the fight is not over. These are just some old notes that got jotted down, and it's funny that they both came out and they're about the same thing. The fight is not over. I don't know. So, even though I'm going to be doing this reading on my cousin and getting a little bit of his story, obviously there's some messages that are dying to get out to other people. So yeah, the fight is not over. I got me some ice water here, y'all. This cup keeps my water cold for hours and hours with no lid. Like, it's weird. It's like a little mini cooler. Okay, so I just want to pull whatever. I haven't shuffled any of these decks. And that's okay. And we're gonna call in the energies in 1 second. But sometimes what's there at the surface is always good to pay attention to. So we're just gonna see what a couple of these first cards say. This one says, don't let your past hold you back. That's something that I needed to hear, because I definitely do that a lot. I don't mean to. I don't want to, but some things have a great effect on you. I'm going to give you a quick scenario on how that can be the case. Like, let's just say you're walking down the street and you run into a man, and the man has on a blue shirt. And he says nothing to you. He just slaps you. Maybe you fight him, maybe you run, whatever. And then you go on about your day, and then another day you're walking down the street and there's a man in a blue shirt coming, and he says nothing to you and he slaps you. Maybe you fight him, maybe you run, you know. Let's say 3 years went past and you see a man walking down the street and he's wearing a blue shirt. You don't you don't keep just walking past him. You're either going to be cautious, you're going to have your guard up, you're going to move away from some things. You probably cross the street, you probably give them 6 feet, no pressure, right? So sometimes we go through things and they do affect us, you know, but we can't let it stop us. You can have fear, you can go through whatever you're going to go through, and then you keep going. And that's why the lesson for today is the fight is not over. And another card just fell. Where are these cards falling from? Oh, I see. Okay. Let's see what's on this one. Oh, okay. This one says, don't set out to prove it. Let them find out. Right? And this could be in concern with change, right? Change and growth. You don't have to always prove to somebody, you know, that you are a certain type of way. You just have to be who you are. You don't have to go out and be like, oh, I changed, I'm not the same person. Let them find out. Because then you find yourself spending too much time trying to fix what somebody thought about you. Trying to, you know, somebody who knew you in the past, they don't know who you are now. And you don't have to explain to them who you are. Let them find out. Okay? Hands off. Okay, so even though this card, I don't know if it was in the upright or what, but as I was holding it, it was coming out as a challenge. So to me, it's like, me too. I'm going to read it both ways because I know I'm doing this reading for, you know, to get some insight on my cousin, but this is also definitely going to be good for all of us. So the Queen of Cups is just like coming out as a challenge, and you might have a problem like, oh, okay, thank you, Spirit. So I just heard anxiety. I know they're talking to me on that one, right? So you might have a problem like controlling your emotions sometimes. You might feel like you love too hard, and then you freak out when people don't necessarily love you back, right? That could be coming out as a challenge. And then this also is a challenge. We're doing it as a challenge. This says, don't be afraid of losing someone who doesn't want you. So that gives the energy of hard time letting go, right? Very hard time letting go. And the truth is, you just have to. You have to. Whether it's a breakup, whether it's a job, whether it's a person choosing to leave out of your life, why you holding on and refusing to let go of something that has gone? If you get fired, or you know your job is acting weird towards you, or whatever the case is, if it's no longer serving you in a positive manner, then it is very important that you skedaddle, because that's you taking your power back, and that is you still choosing to love you. When that, I just heard that song that this train gonna keep on rolling. I don't even know the song, but they say one monkey don't stop the show. Like, if you don't want to be in my life, you can head out. Thank you very much. There's 8 billion more people still here in the living. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Comparison is in reverse, so definitely don't compare yourself to anyone. You are different for a reason. There are things that are needed from you. See, one of them gonna make paper, the other one gonna hold water, right? The other one will you'll be able to boil water and survive with it, right? This one's flexing. This one ain't going nowhere, right? So it's like you're different for a reason. So definitely don't spend too much time, don't spend any time comparing yourself to anybody, because that's not fair to you. I gotta take the lens off, see this one, because these words is black. It says, I remember the good time, those were the days. So if you're going through a breakup, it's okay to remember the good times. Sometimes you don't get back to that. Sometimes those, just because they have passed don't mean they're not worth remembering, right? I think that's amazing. Like when you can think about some good times and you're blessed to have those memories, it's kind of like it's better to have loved and lost than to not have loved at all. Would you have rather never met that person before? Never learned things that are going to trigger your change? you know? All right, so my cousin's name was Eric, and he went by E-Boy, and he grew up on 57th and Wabash, you know, and he got into a little bit of the street life. I didn't even know he was in the streets. I just thought he was normal, right? Because with the same guys you grow up with, they're just kids. Like, they all start as kids, and then they just kind of, I don't know, before you know it, they're into stuff together, I guess, you know. So today we're going to talk to my dead homies. Tomorrow we can talk to y'all. Okay, so let me just shuffle these cards while doing a quick prayer. Thank you, Spirit. Call to the angels of the earth. Thank you. Please look into the Spirit and bring clear messages. Only bring messages of highest good and intent. From my will to thy will, I move out of the way. Thank you, Spirit. I call to the angels of the earth. Please look into the Spirit and bring clear messages. Only bring messages of highest good and intent. From my will to thy will, I move out of the way. Sometimes I like to see the messages that are just being brought forward right away, that happen sporadically, periodically, I don't know. But I like those messages as well, because sometimes what happens is when you're conversing with Spirit, there's a lot of messages, and you can be flooded because there's so much information that needs to get out, and then you can also become overwhelmed because the burden can feel heavy. What is this? Oh, the Lover's card in reverse, sticking out. We're going to see if that comes out again. I think somebody was heartbroken when it comes to my cousin. I'm thinking my cousin was heartbroken too, believe it or not. Even though he was like a player from the Himalayas, you know, but I think he was heartbroken. That card came out like I'm getting the vibes of heartbroken. And then I got some of these little cards real quick. I'm gonna read these real fast since they fell out. It says, got paid in blood, I'm sorry. So he's heartbroken himself about what happened. And then people are heartbroken about losing him. It says, trying to make a living. And then my I Am app popped up. It says, every decision I make. What did it say? Oh, I lost it. I don't know why it stopped recording, bro. That stresses me out so much. I always have interference on my cell phones. Like, I can't get a spiritual message out because they be all on me. Back then they didn't want me. Now I'm hot, they all on me. Thank you, Spirit. Clear the energy, please. These falls call to the angels of the earth. To the Spirit and bring clear messages. I'm bring messages. From my will to thy will, I move out of the way. Thank you. Lily, stop trying to text my phone. Cut my daggone video. And I'm on airplane mode, like, and I turned the cellular data off. It shouldn't have done that. Anyways, so I'm just gonna say this part again. And my dog crying to get in. I can't. Like, it's just too many interferences right now. But this message coming through, period. I don't stop. We don't stop. We keep coming. So, anyways, like I was saying, he had more than enough, and he still grappled with that. He had more than enough to be content in life, to be ready to settle down, to be, you know, what he was chasing was because of pain. The battle that he was having definitely was because something hurt him, right? So here's the other cards that flew out. He couldn't just walk away from those things that hurt him, right? Thanks, Spirit. And that's hurt, and they were words. They were words. I don't know if somebody got hurt and then some words hurt him. You know how people say words don't hurt? To a lot of people, words definitely hurt. Come on, that's our number one superpower, is our mouth. Not many people use it wisely, you know. But if you knew just how powerful it was, you would probably use it a little bit different, right? So anyways, he had the 3 of Swords here. And he had the Death card in reverse, Death and Rebirth. So he was heartbroken. And I feel like something came to an end that he didn't want to come to an end. And he was refusing to accept it. And he let his pain get in the way. That's what it feels like. Because after an ending, there's a new beginning. Like, you can see the sun still shines. Like, when people die, the birds don't stop chirping in the morning. The sun does not stop shining, you know. But sometimes the sun can stop shining for a person, like in their mind and in their heart. And the sun stopped shining for him. I don't know if it was because of a choice that he made, but he was not happy. He was heartbroken. He was battling with himself. This right here is same team. So if you have an argument with your mama, you find your mama, you know your mama want what's best for you. You battling with yourself. That's your team. If you believe that God is talking to you and you're going directly against what you feel that God is saying to you, you battling against yourself. The ones you believe have the best intentions for you, right? You're not treating the people in your life right. Or even if it's just ignoring the fact that they want you out of the streets, that they want better from you, and you know that, and you keep that in the back of your mind because you think you got time. But now he's having to speak through a different realm because of those choices that he made. I don't know what they were. But he had his hand in the cookie jar, and I asked him why, and it's because he was heartbroken. Something hurt him. He was waiting. Let's see, what he was waiting for. Something fell on the floor. I'm going to see that. Thank you, Spirit. That card that fell on the floor is for somebody else. That card, it fell on my lap. Because that means it's still close to us. It's still somebody we care about. But it's not him. It's just him letting me know that's not his card. But that card is for us. Okay, so the Queen of Swords and waiting. I know he ain't talking about no love affair. I know he ain't talking about being heartbroken by a girl. Wait a minute. Because somebody cutoff game is real strong. Like, to me, this is like somebody who's learned to control their words. Somebody who will stand their ground. And see, what happened is somebody stood their ground against him, right? And it pushed him into the streets. Thank you. There was friction everywhere. Everywhere he turned. Right? So let's just say he put his hand in the cookie jar and he got into something. And people don't know what he's into. I didn't know what he was into, right? People don't know what he's into. But everywhere you turn is somebody like doing this to you. Like, and that's uncomfortable. So you turn around. And everywhere he went, he turned around. And the only people that was like this was like the ones closer to him, like the outside brothers. You get what I'm saying? That wasn't judging, you know. But see, the difference is if y'all all fucked up, you in agreement. When you going home to someone who knows better, who been through some things, who knows what you're facing, and they're telling you to do one thing and you're doing another, it don't feel like rebellion to you, but it's not until you, I just thought of that scene in that movie when the boy grandma used to always be asking him like, do you want to live? And he'll always walk out the door and then answer it. And then at the end, he had got shot. And then he was on the ground and he was like, I guess I do. You know? But that's at that point, it's like, it ain't up to you no more. He's saying he sees things from a different perspective now. He's enlightened, right? Look at the brightness coming from the mind, coming from the head, you know. And I just love that she's floating like freely above what looks to be water. Water is all spirit. Maybe you're in the hands of God when you out there on that water, right? No. Like seriously, you're at the mercy of the universe when you're out there, and that's what you hanging from. It ain't no tree to hang a hammock from, right? That's to me like he's just hanging there in the hands of the universe. No longer out in the cold, right? See, he felt that way when he was here. He felt like he didn't have enough when he was there, when he was here. See, but the truth is it was five coins, 5 pentacles there. That's earth. That's like being grounded. That's like your family, you know, your work. Like he had more ways. He was not one of those people who had to do what he did. He absolutely was not. So the fact that he was left out in the cold and he felt left out in the cold is complete bull crap. It's complete bull crap. Because now he's seeing it from a different perspective. He's seeing it with a different mind. He was only 25, y'all. One time I was dropping him off somewhere. I was taking him somewhere and I just turned down the block. And I stopped at a light and he almost lost his stuff, yeah. He was like, he ducked down in the seat. He was like, cuz, what you doing? This is the op block, you know? And I'm like, how am I supposed to know? You know? How do I know that? And that scared me because that's when I started realizing, oh, this boy is into something. And then it's like, I'm not into it enough to know what it is. But that's when I'm like, he can't get in my car anymore. Cuz, can you drop me off? You know, like this my blood. But it's just like, I legit was like, I just turned back and it was 9:22 on the clock. That's my birthday. Love you too, cuz. So I was like, this nigga, he can't get in my car no more, you know. And then when he was younger, he had got shot. He almost got shot in the head. I think he got shot in the arm. Like, but even when that happened, I'm just thinking it's dumb stuff. Like, so crazy. The Fool in reverse. 10 of Pentacles in reverse. He lost everything. He lost everything. He took the wrong leap. He took the wrong leap of faith. He took the wrong chances. He could have been living great. Gorgeous man. Do you hear me? He could have been living wonderful. He had everything. He may not have like a car all the time because, you know, young people be into stuff. But come on, you had your life. You had your whole life ahead of you. So he's acknowledging that today. And okay, so it just told me get some of these. But yeah, so let's see this here. Yeah, he said it was just the beginning. And look how that this other picture, right? This to me, I was like, he had his hand in the pot, but he was using all magic. He was using all his power in the wrong way. Whether it was penis power, you know, power being cute, power of like, he was using all his powers to get ahead, but not in the right way. Not in the right way. And his hand was in that pot, right? And to me, it's just like, it was just the beginning. He was young. He was a baby. He was trying to find his way. He was trying to figure it out. He had a lot of love. He was full of love. But it was just something he liked about, like, we used to shoot dice outside, and he used to get in trouble because he didn't want to come back in. Like, I'm going to play a little dice, and I'm going to go upstairs to my house, you know? Like, I didn't feel too caught up in it. So this is in reverse. But it says, how could you? These my little cute gangway cards. This says, how could you? Right? How could you in reverse? So now you know. Okay, yeah, we'll get some of those. So now you know. So don't question it. It happened. We can't undo it. But see, we can't let the fight stop here. We do something with what you learn today or find out today. Right? Because they said the fight is not over. And if it's you just choosing to change your ways and change your life, then you don't have to set out to prove it. You just do it. This says your shit stank. So, you know how people like that song, I know you like to think you don't stink, but you know, so here it is, your shit stank. You're not perfect either. How can you judge somebody else? We got to cut that shit out. Thank you, Spirit. Further clarify, how can you judge these street niggas? How you gonna, yeah, they dying for this shit, but your shit stink too, right? So now it's like, do something. What you gonna do? Something hanging out. Let me see what it said. I'm happy yesterday has passed. And then this one says, don't let your past hold you back. Huh? I'm happy yesterday has passed. It's over. He paid his debt. He paid it with his life, but he paid it. So if there's people on this side that's holding some type of ill feelings and grudges towards him, we have to let that go. We have to let that go, because that's the seed that gets planted, that grows into something that will affect your future, right? Everything's going to grow. Everything is a seed. So it's like, if you plant seeds for flowers, flowers going to grow. If you plant seeds for apples, apples going to grow. If you plant shit seeds, ain't nothing but shit gonna grow. A lot of bullshit. A lot of it. So understand that. And you are not immune. You will not be immune, protected, because you're shaping your own destiny as well. This says free to be you. Understand. Everything you do come with a price. So then it's like, don't question. Don't question why God, and we gotta we gotta, all of that. You don't gotta do that. Speaking of give back, I'm missing a whole deck of cards. I'll find them eventually. But yeah, this says pay attention, play it safe. So somebody who this video is going to reach has been waiting for signs and getting signs and still doing the same thing, right? Fighting against it. Tired of struggling. This one's upside down. Let's work this out. Let's work this out in reverse. So this just gave me, it just gave me the thought of robbery, right? Like, I'm tired of struggling. And then the let's work this out is in reverse. Like, I ain't trying to hear nothing. I'm finna go get it. And that's how a lot of people see things. Believe it or not. A lot of street dudes see things. But you have to trust the process. And you have to make the change. And you can't make the change for the money purposes. You have to make the change, and then the money will come. It's really all about our actions and our choices and the reasons we're doing things. Yeah, for sure. But you have to move around. If the love ain't safe, if the love ain't good, you move around. It don't matter if they paying for the house and the car, and that you gotta trust that I gotta get out of this. And if I gotta let go, I gotta let go. This says you owe me one, not hiding. You owe me one, not hiding. So this somebody's chasing something, right? And it's kind of like it's giving the paid in blood vibe, right? Like somebody's coming to get something because they feel like it's owed to them. And then this person wasn't hiding. That would be stressful. Hiding all the time. Like if somebody's coming to get something from you, as opposed to let's work this out. Let's talk about it. Let's talk it out. What was that? Like, can we do something different? Can we make some change? Can we find a happy medium? Nobody want to do that. That lets me feel like this just took me back to the thought of that conflict inside thing. There might have been some problems with inside people too, right? Wow, thank you, Spirit. Traveling in reverse. What else can clarify traveling? Traveling in reverse. Guidance. Guidance coming out as a challenge. Okay, so wow. I feel like things are at a standstill, right? Because he had a hard time accepting the guidance that was here. The guidance of the angels, the guidance of his family members, the guidance of the people that loved him. And maybe he had other people that loved him that was also guiding him in different directions, because it's coming out as a challenge. So it doesn't mean like guidance wasn't there and it was unavailable. He just had a hard time figuring out who to believe, who to trust, who to follow. But at the same time, it's like we all on the same team. You know, I love my mom to death, but at some point I was like, listen, I can't keep letting this happen like this. You know, I love you to death, but if you jump off the bridge, I can't jump with you. You know, your mama told you that saying when you was a kid. All right, they're your friends. If they jumped off a bridge, would you jump with them? Like, that's how life is in real life. Like people leading you in one direction or other. And then at some point you learn a lot and you become a leader. You're a follower and a leader at all times. You have people who you are meant to listen to, and you have people that you are meant to teach. Right? Because as you're going throughout your days, you're going to be collecting data and giving data to other people. You know what I mean? And maybe he got this ass backwards. Maybe he was meant to lead the team in a different direction. He had a really good heart. He had soldiers. He had people that was trying to show him the way. And he was having a battle. There was a battle. Look at them fighting to reach the top, and what they reaching? Fire. Sometimes, and you play with fire, you get burnt. Sometimes what's at the top ain't the best, right? Laziness. He didn't want to do it the hard way, the long way, right? Sharing. He wanted a lot. He was sharing. He was sharing some things, right? He was sharing some things, but he also wanted it all to just come to him. That's the vibe that is given. And this reminds me of the flowering card, where it's like setting seeds, right? She has grapes. She has flowers in the background. She has fresh fruit. He was sharing what he knew. He was sharing who he truly was. You know, but he was lazy. He didn't want to put the work in. He didn't want to put in the work that it would have taken to change to give him his breakthrough and also his friends, his people. You know, it's kind of like you want to get out of it alive, right? But how? Ain't no healing that. It's healing in reverse. How do you heal a wound that's always open? He said, we doing it now. We doing it now. I saw the nothingness card. Bro, it popped back out. How is that crazy? Look. It popped back out. Because that's not what you want. That's not what you want to end up with, right? Your existence means something. And he's trying to let you know. You don't want to be the miser. You don't want to chase fool's gold, right? There's other things that are way more important that you can find value in. It's not the streets. It's not the guns. It's not in taking other people's lives. It's not in getting all the fortunes and jewels. Because you look up and you just be miserable. And how happy are you going to be when nobody's around that truly love you? And I just heard that saying, what does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Like, whatever it was he was chasing, it caused him to fucking lose, to take a loss. See, he was experiencing, this is the experiencing card, right? This person is like hugging the burning bush, right? But it's just like, it felt tough. It felt tough to not have enough money. It felt tough to not be the baddest nigga. It felt tough to not have, you know, I don't know why I heard the biggest thing, right? The biggest male part. I don't know why I just heard that. But it's going to make sense to somebody. But, you know, it felt tough to go through those things. And it's like when you're going through it, sometimes you don't see a way out. Or you think this is the way out. But the way is not out. The way is really in. Look at the peace in this card. Outside is like this. It's a lot of energies. It's a lot of lost people. It's a lot of demons. But see, you get scared to go inside when your mind is already feeling like trickery, right? When you're already trapped in your own thoughts. So it makes you afraid to tune in. But when you go in there and you find the calm, you'll be able to put it in place, right? You'll be able to put some things in place and you'll be able to realize the things that really, truly matter. Like the soul, the heart, the mind, family, friends, you know, that type of things. Peace, calm. Because there's so much outside. Thank you, Spirit. And when it's ready, it's going to come to you. Because if you try to force the wheel to turn, then that means somebody else gonna force it to turn in the other direction for you, right? I always said with my cousin, he might be my older cousin, no, little cousin. Anyway, I used to always say with him, like, one thing about that table, it always turns. You could be down for so long. If you stayed down for 7 years and you were struggling for 7 years and you was right for 7 years, good for 7 years, you know, trying, working hard for 7 years, and you not up, you got to know your turn coming. Sometimes you see evil prevailing because they forcing, they using forces, and they using negative forces, and then they make it look positive on the outside, but it's not. But JJ is for JJ. It you know, well, I can't say it all feels the same, but it is what it is. However, some people take it. Some people wait until it's given. Even though it's the same act, it hit different. right? It has a different effect. So even if you're doing something different to get the same result, like you're forcing to get a car, or you're forcing to eat today, or you're forcing for somebody to love you, it's hitting different from when you just work hard to get the car. And even if you gotta beg to get the food, it hits different when somebody giving it to you versus you taking it. Thank you, Spirit, for visiting us today. Sources at the bottom of the deck. This should definitely be the foundation of all of our lives. That sounded like static. That sounded like when the channels go out, right? We got to turn our TVs off some. And tune in. Tune within. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah. Look, consciousness in reverse. We have to do these things because we need to awaken our consciousness, awaken our higher self, our greater being. Like, be who you are. Free to be you, right? Because you are who you are. That don't mean you can't change. You ain't got to go out telling people, I changed, I ain't the same no more. You just be it. Because change is possible for you too. And every time you become better, you can't let the past hold you back, because that is who you are. Who you are today. Who you are now. The changes that have been made. I'm glad yesterday's over. We got through that. Here we are today. It's a new day. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new beginning. We're still here. The fight is not over. And we move forward. We continue on. Thank you for visiting me today. I'm going to get a schedule on how often I'm going to do this, because I do want to talk to other people's homies. You know, street guys. Because they got a voice too.